let's get a couple of
I
minutes.
dug a little
away.
bit of a cave of a basement down there, but it's not particularly great yet. But it will become great things.
That is fine. The main thing we need is just to have the soil so that we can turn that into cobble.
Yeah.
All we need. The BDU top is still in the chest.
Oh, I
there,
keep
though.
forgetting. I will completely go and gear myself up. Sorry.
Also, there's a bunch of additional potatoes.
Ah, fantastic.
All right. We need to pick the best trees to chop. So the big trees would be the ones to go for. Also, the boulders would be better to go for right now because they will give more iron.
Yeah.
Do I have any? I don't have any flagstones, damn it. How much dirt do you have?
None.
Oof, okay. Did you not get down to the dirt layer yet in the basement?
Oh, hang on. Maybe. No, I think there was a lot of snow coming up. No, sorry. I have 96 clay soil on me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sorry. I didn't even think about the fact I was digging in there all night.
That's okay. Because we're going to start needing lots of cobble to improve the stones themselves. Now,
Right.
the thing with the cobble is, well, the way that the zombies will path, they need a block, they need an aperture too tall and 1 wide. So if you upgrade the middle block, there we go.
We're nearly there with the outside there. And so is it just the cobblestone rocks to upgrade?
Yeah, 10 cobblestone rocks per block. So the best way to do it is just upgrade the middle 1 block all the way around, because that will give you the most bang for buck. Because they still need to dig through that
Yeah.
to get in. Now, what I think we should probably do is on the inside we are going to need. Oh, I need so much more dirt, oh my lord.
I'll drop my dirt for you there.
Oh yes, please.
Okay.
Start
Which you've already
making
have. I was out of stones rather than dirt.
I can drop a bunch of stone. There's 200 odd.
Okay.
But
I'll go dig a bit more. I'll go dig a bit more soil.
yeah, sure. Have you still got? Is that steel shovel still working, or is that gone?
Just about. Just
Okay.
about.
Oh, that's awesome.
Tiny bit of durability on it.
Let's grab you. You can come with me, matey-o.
So are we gonna shoot from somewhere particular, or is there? Are you What's your idea for?
I'm not sure what you're asking. You'll need to be a little bit more clear.
With the tower.
Mm-hmm.
Just wondered like where we're gonna shoot from and everything like that.
We haven't even started building the upper level of the tower, so it would be hard for me to explain, but it'll be above the room that is here.
Right. Okay.
We'll create some sort of, as I was saying, the kind of like the squirrel assault course for the zombies.
Yeah. Yeah.
For all intents and purposes, I'm going to be preying on the AI. I'm not gonna paint it as something that it isn't. I am 100% going to be using my knowledge of the way the AI pathing works of this game and just in general AI pathing to make it an obstacle course that will be increasingly difficult for them to navigate. However, I feel that with this game in particular, not doing that isn't so much not cheesing, it's just not really playing within the lore. These are zombies, they're undead, their brain functions, from what I can tell, they've lost the ability to abstract thoughts, they've lost the ability of lateral thinking, they are just bundles of instincts mostly geared around consumption, firing particularly aggressively. They don't attack each other, so there's some degree of recognition there, But how that's functioning, I don't know. There's not too much lore in the game about the zombie plague itself, what kind of plague.
No, it never actually tells you how they become zombies or anything like that, does it?
You just know that not really. I think it used to be, and this is where the name came from, that if you got an infection, you had 7 days before it killed you. Hence 7 days to die. But outside of that now, I have no clue how it's building the lore of the game anymore.
Yeah, kind of got lost by the wayside a little bit. Maybe.
Yeah, a little bit, which is a bit of a shame, honestly, in my opinion.
However, it's nice when something has a story.
Yeah, absolutely. However, again, coming back to the whole idea of the zombies, even the 28 days later zombies, which within the lore were perfectly functional humans that had been inflicted with a contagion that was pure violence and rage. So not undead. They were very much alive. It's just they're kind of the more complicated layers of consciousness that are built on top of instincts had effectively been subverted or completely bypassed. They were just pure eating machines driven by anger and violence. Even with them, the zombies they lost a lot of their reasoning potential. They couldn't figure out how to do complex things. They couldn't work their way through a maze, that kind of stuff. They would just go violently from A to B. They had no concept of like scarcity of food. They would eat everything until there was nothing left, and then they would all starve to death. That kind of idea. So I don't feel bad at all. Making use of the fact that zombies are zombies. They're brainless.
Yeah, you feel it's RP.
Yeah, exactly. I'm making use of the fact that these are not intelligent creatures, and they will walk along something that looks like it's stable, but ultimately even a cursory glance from something more intelligent would say, yeah, I've got to be very careful here because it could be easy to fall off. That's clearly a trap. Yeah. With the zombies, well, they will fall off it. And they will fall off it again and again and again. And I will absolutely make use of that. Again, it feels very lore fitting to do something along those lines. Right.
By the way, the BDU top would have made me too cold. I'm already really struggling with the cold. So
really? Oh, is your top better than the BDU top?
My top is giving me some 8 insulation, and the BDU would give me nothing, so it would really reduce.
Are you sure about that? What top have you got?
That's what it said when I compared the stats, I think, anyway. Unless I'm getting it the wrong way round.
Yeah, I think you're getting it the wrong way round. And to be fair to you, it is super annoyingly vague.
It's not very easy to work out, is it?
Look at the numbers, not the ones in brackets.
Than the +8 and plus minus this, and
then compare them manually yourself and see which one offers the highest cold resist and which one doesn't.
Try again then. Make sure.
It is frustrating, that, to be fair.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's in there, wasn't it? So
and that will give us a
bit of horde.
Flagstone blocks, need 2 of you. Need a lot more cobble. There we go.
Yeah, it is slightly better. It's 8 instead of 6 by the looks of it.
Right, the very bare minimal amount of cladding is complete on the structure here.
That's
it is
great.
The very, very most minimal amount. At this point, though, I am going to make it so that we have to access this from the roof. And what I would recommend is that when the Horde Night comes, we're going to get rid of any particular ladders that we've got in place. I think it would be better to make it difficult for the pathing to find an easy way to enter. Like, it can see the ladder inside, so it's just going to try and burrow through the walls. Or dig into the basement and then try and get up. Because realistically, it shouldn't know the ladder's there anyway. But
yeah,
that's one thing I do dislike. In pathing AI in general, I shouldn't say I dislike it, because it is the norm. but rather we'll put it that I am especially impressed by games which go to the effort of restricting the pathing AI to what the agent, so in this case a zombie, would be aware of for use in the path.
Yeah.
So whereas these zombies are using kind of like an omniscient knowledge of the area to
yeah, it's
locate
like how are
the
they
best path.
supposed to know that there's like a ladder there? They shouldn't be able to know that.
Yeah, exactly. And so rather than say I feel that is unfair the game, because that's a lot of game design is finding shortcuts. It looks like it's intelligently pathing, and that's good enough. And I do understand the need for that sort of thing, but I think it's especially cool when games go to the effort to make their AI use the same kind of knowledge that a player would have to use in order to make decisions.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So that's one layer of cladding. If we have enough cobble toward the end to do more, then we will. But for the time being, we will instead...
I have 107 cobbles sitting in my inventory. So what do we want to do with that? Make it into blocks, or does it for upgrading?
Yeah, just straight into blocks for now, I would say.
Right, okay.
I may be underestimating the amount we need, but hopefully not.
That would make me 26 blocks.
Then yeah, that should definitely be a reasonable amount for us to need. So go ahead and make that.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm gonna
just getting some wood for arrows.
Sure. I'm gonna make a visit back to the base to pop some more iron in to refine, and to also grab some more
potatoes. Potatoes.
No, I've got quite a lot of potatoes on me.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, to set up some spikes to be made. Because this is a largely automated process. Me being here doesn't help.
Yeah.
A word to the wise. You've got 2 spots in a furnace for smelting. It isn't based per element, it's based per slot. So if you've got like a stack of 50 iron, split it into both slots. If you're not using the other slot for anything else, put 2 stacks of 25 iron and you will smelt that iron into usable iron twice as fast. Super, super useful. Sure, we'll use all of that as fast as
I hate it when you
can.
need to repair your tool and then it's queued behind a load of cobblestone.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to reorder the queue.
Well, for the time being, we can quite happily make use of the workbench if you want to.
I've only got like 4 left to make, so I'll be fine. 10 seconds.
That's fine. Right.
And then do you want these flagstone blocks? Because I am not really sure what to do with them now.
Yeah, sure. If you want to drop them off.
Plan. There you go.
By all means.
Buy that tree. Okay.
That's excellent. Gonna need a lot more dirt still, unfortunately.
More dirt, okay. I've still got a tiny bit of durability, I think, on the shovel, I think.
Now, this should be tall enough that it will work. I could be wrong, though. So, don't hold this against me, chat, if I am making a terrible, terrible mistake. Okay, so the blocks that we're going to use to make this zombie assault course.
Right.
I'm going to want at least 2 of these, almost certainly more, though. So I'm going to build 3 to start with. I'm going to have the half blocks, and I'll be showing on my screen what I'm building and going over why. I don't know if Shelab wants to come over and see it as well, or if you want to focus on more gathering.
Yeah, I might focus on more gathering. So if you guys, oh,
you right?
I accidentally shoveled a tree. I didn't mean to do that.
Fair enough.
I was like, oops, and it fell over.
Very well.
Because it's a steel shovel, I guess it does a lot of damage to trees. Somehow.
Well, Yeah, maybe you keep it really sharp. But, okay, so a half block, and I'm going to place it here, flush with the face of this block. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is because this is a narrow surface. You can fall through here. It's not like some games where the dimensions of the blocks are largely just cosmetic, and so a half block is actually a full block for collision purposes. No, this half block is a half block for collision purposes. You can quite happily fall down. Now I'm going to carefully rotate it and have this block building out like that. So we've got a little walkway that we have to navigate to get onto that central pillar there. Now, the next step is to get a corner block. I'm going to need at least 4 of these. Let's get those going. And I'm going to want at least 6 more half blocks. I should have enough flagstone to make that. There we go. I'll move my stone axe up. Now we are almost certainly going to want to reinforce this to prevent too much damage being done. There we go. A corner block here. Now, the astute amongst you might already be working out what I'm going to be trying to do. I am trying to confuse the zombies into not understanding what is safe to walk on and what is not. The zombies, as you've noticed, shamble an awful lot. So they kind of sway and swagger quite aggressively. And so I'm making a particularly narrow path for them to try and move across, in hopes that some of them, while trying to do that, will simply sway too much and overbalance and then fall off the side. But there's a little bit more to this design than just that. Let's rotate this around. There we go. And this one. There we are. I need 1 more of these blocks. I'm making this design reasonably large. So there's a pit in the middle that zombies can fall down. I want them to quite easily fall into this little pit down here. Once they reach here, there will hopefully be nothing too obvious for them to attack, and so their moment of rage will just be used against the wall there, which is reinforced, and eventually everything here would ideally be reinforced. Oh, poop. Okay, well, there we go. That is the structural integrity. We just lost a good chunk of blocks there. But I guess, you know, it's better that it happened now than right at the end of the night.
What? So it all fell down, did it?
Yeah, I extended out too much weight on it without having a support structure. What I need to do is come from the other side. Then, if I'm going to make it that wide, is to have a support on the other side as well that will build out to it. Come on, you. Oh, item needs repairs. Right, that's fine. Let's quickly repair that. There we go. Strictly speaking, I don't need it to all branch off a middle piece like that, but I kind of would prefer it to if I have a choice. As it does make getting to the platform at the top a little bit harder for the zombies. But I guess I can make the trap a little less pronounced on the side, I suppose. The main thing is that it all comes from a central path. That's ultimately the most important part. So let me rotate this all the way around, and we'll see if I can just reduce the size of the structure before we need additional supports. I'm going to need some more corner pieces then. Let's see. I'll just build the bare minimum needed until I can get some of the more some supports on the side. I'll want 2, 3 of these. Once I get these in place, I should be able to see where I need to place the final part of this structure to support it. Damn it! That is super annoying. Wow. I right-clicked, wanting to rotate in a different direction, and instead placed 2 blocks. That happened an awful lot.
I do that so much. Like, I think I'm placing and I turn.
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
What I meant to do is actually hit R to bring up the advanced rotation display.
Yeah.
That was super dumb of me. Do you have many more flagstone blocks, Shelab? Because unfortunately we're going to need some more because I've been a derp.
Yet, however, depending on how much stone I have. No, I don't have any more flagstone blocks, but I could make. I've got some dirt. If you have any stone.
Yes, I do. I have quite a lot of.
So I've just been digging out.
That's fine. We've got a lot of time. More than anything, we're just going to need lots of cobble to reinforce the parts that we can reinforce. Better than I thought we would
be doing.
Damn it.
Right,
so more aggressive there.
If you drop some stone and I drop some dirt, then we can both make like cobble.
Sure.
It'll be faster then, won't it?
Yep. No, that's brilliant. It's a really good idea. Let's go ahead and get all that done. Thank you, though.
No problemo.
Right. Now, hold down R to choose the advanced rotation, and then left click will rotate it through all of the different faces that it can. Donk. Now, at this point, I know that the center block is going to be one block on from this. I'm going to use some wood to make some regular frames. Let's get 10 of these so I can just have an idea of where I need to place these so that we don't have a repeat of that and lose a lot of progress all in one go. Right, so I think it needs to be here. There we go.
Support structures for the win.
Yep, indeed. So with that out the way, I can pop this down like so. There we are. Now, what I want here is for this to be rotated onto that face. And then, there we go. Supported. Now, the zombies are going to be very, very aggressive to these blocks and will eventually break them. And that is going to be troublesome.
For try and kill them first.
Lots of obvious reasons. Yeah, we're going to have to be very active with the combat here. Because I'm not going to make this a particularly large walkway, I don't think. The longer you make the walkway, the more time you have to deal with the zombies. Let's pop that down there. Effectively, we are going to make use of the fact that when a zombie is jumping, it stops and it holds still for a little bit. Because the problem with Horde Night zombies is that they're faster. They're much more aggressive. They know where you are, but the biggest part is that their speed is much higher than the regular zombies. And so ultimately what we want to do is to remove that advantage. We want to try and take control of the fight by removing the obvious advantage that the zombies have over their regular kin, which is their speed. And one way to do that is that if they're trying to climb over a block, as we've got there, it almost looks like crenellations, they have to full-on jump. They stop, they gauge the jump, and then they, crouch down and then leap up over onto the block. That takes time, and in that time, they're just stood there with their head kind of somewhat lolling down a little bit, perfect for a headshot. So, by having this kind of like camel hump design here, as Shelab is demonstrating there, the zombies will just line themselves up for just headshots the whole way through. And we've taken away one of their biggest strengths. Yeah, this last part here, because they'll be bunny hopping over each one of these. When they try to bunny hop onto this block, because it's not a full block, they'll overestimate and they'll just fall straight through. The ones who don't will try to take the corner too aggressively and will fall down. If they do manage to make it across, well, that's going to be a bit of a problem. But we're just have to live with that.
That's what pistols are for.
Yeah, no, exactly. We will want lighting out here, but I don't think we've got enough torches to make that happen. So that's going to be a bit of an issue for us. Let's get one of these, and then I think 3, 4.
Won't be so bad for me.
Why is that?
It will for you, as you play in the dark.
That is true. Have you got your gamma nice and high?
Yep.
Fair enough.
And I do not apologize for this.
No, if that's the way you want to play.
I need every advantage I can get.
If that is the way you want to play.
Yeah, maybe at some point I will be like, I'm such a pro at this game that I feel that I can definitely, play in the dark and stuff. But, at the moment, I like to seek.
And I'm sure your viewers are very happy for that as well.
Probably, actually.
There we go. So this is our way up. Now, I will add in an actual stairs because I want to make this an attractive route. I want to control the way that the zombies are attacking us.
Yeah, you want to make it as easy as possible for them to get up and get that. Do we want to go for the airdrop, or is it going to take too long?
I would say if you leave now, you'll be there with plenty of time. Right. Do you have any cobblestone left? Or any means to make cobblestone? If you do, then I would very much like that. I have
2. No, I've got 17 flagstone blocks, though. Is it the flagstone or the cobblestone?
The cobblestone. Everything, really. Reinforcing is now the main focus.
It's all on the floor there for you.
Wood is also useful if you've got a lot of that.
Yeah, you can have my wood, and there's a small stone there, and that's about it then.
That's fine. Thank you. That is excellent.
Oh, some dirt. There you go.
Thank you, Shelab. Best of luck getting the airdrop.
Yeah, I just need to run.
Mm-hmm. Now, we were lucky enough to have some cement lying around. We could have used that to upgrade some of these blocks. I think concrete rather, not cement. But I think that would be pushing it a little bit too much. I think instead I'm going to focus on replacing the inner walls where I can. And just upgrading every wall that I can to full cobble with a focus on the blocks which will give us the most bang for buck. So again, the mid-height blocks, because the middle one, they have to dig out a too tall aperture. So reinforcing the middle one is going to guarantee that no matter what they do, they have to go through that reinforced block. There's no combination which will allow them to only dig through 2 non-reinforced blocks. There we go. Now I'm out of cobblestone. Okay, so I need regular stone at this point. So off we go to find all of the boulders that we can.
Back into the Badlands again.
Yeah. I'm getting hungry again. How are you doing for food?
Probably terrible. Okay, we've got a little bit of food and honey and a flashlight.
Oh, the flashlight is good.
Yeah.
Do you have a gun that has got a high enough...
My pistol's level 2. I might be able to...
You should be able to attach the flashlight to your pistol then.
Yeah.
That would be particularly good. Now, there are a couple of other sneaky things that we can use in this particular setup that I've made. The gaps, the crenellations. Zombies, again, they're fairly brainless. They don't recognize the fire is super bad, always bad, no, don't touch. So, whereas we know not to walk on a fireplace, they do not. I mean, we'll accidentally do it all the time, but we know we shouldn't.
Yeah.
But we can lay down a couple of campfires and fill them with wood and set them to 15 minutes. That'll cover the entire whole night. And as they're jumping over the structures, they will be setting themselves on fire. Now, the only downside to that is that a zombie that dies to environmental effects, such as burning to death, or being killed by a trap, electrocuted, chopped up by a circular saw blade, or spinning blades, or what have you, does not give you any experience points. And a lot of players will be playing with a mind to, they are trying to get the most experience they can because that means the most. You know, having levels is a pretty...
Horde night is like tasty XP night.
Yeah, pretty much. It really is. So it is reasonably important to bear that in mind, that if your goal is to get extra levels, don't Don't be too heavy with the trap systems. It's better later on when you've got like electronic trap systems and pressure plates and that sort of stuff that are gated behind a switch. So if the horde is becoming unmanageable and you realize, okay, well, I either turn on my automated trap system and turn on all of the whirring spike blades, or I die, then you've got the option to flick the switch and suddenly the walls erupt.
That's like
in
your emergency system.
Yeah, the walls are suddenly evisceration death everywhere. Then, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But having it as the default may rob you of a lot of EXP. It also may save your life. So, it depends on how confident you are with what you've got to be able to get through the horde night. In before, my hubris is my end. And I die because I don't use fire pits. But they're totally things you can do. If nothing else, you can use it to cast light. Well, actually, no, that's not entirely true because I don't think they actually cast much light anymore, which is really, 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 really frustrating on many, many levels. Used to be that they cast a lot of light, but I don't believe they do anymore. So they're not as good for lighting.
For the
yeah, in a pistol, but you may need to have a certain level of intelligence for that.
Yeah, I can't do that, so might be something you might want to have a try out. I'll put it in the chest along with a pistol that can.
Yeah, it's probably that you need the level of engineering that allows you to make a pistol, and I don't have that. Sorry.
That's okay. Well, we'll keep them for later. It's fine.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay.
But you can still bring it out because it's still a better light source than we're going to have in anything else.
That's true.
Right, just heading back to base to drop off some things and hopefully set up a bunch of iron spikes to help out. And again, the iron spikes will kill the zombies, so, it does kind of suck. You're going to lose a bit of that tasty, tasty, tasty EXP. But such is life.
Torch, Alex.
Now, spikes. Iron spike traps. I need the iron on me. Can I not make these? Oh, I use this. Never mind. I use a workbench for that. Never mind. I shall take it to a workbench forthwith. Thankfully, we have one.
What? Oh man, I always do this.
What's wrong?
I don't plant the trees; I turn them.
Yeah. Again, the comical things you can do wrong.
It just seems so back to front. It really does seem so back to front.
Yeah, with the placement options. Until you've played it for a couple of hours and then you get back into the swing of things.
Yeah. Or like 7 hours,
Yeah, 7 hours. That also helps. There we go. Getting a bunch of forged iron spikes on the make. I don't believe we've got any extra torches, do we? Unfortunately.
No, and I don't think I have enough animal fat to make them or anything like that.
No, that's fine.
My one torch is down in the basement. You can take that away and use that outside if you want.
Actually, we need to remove this now. Let me grab my actual iron fire axe. Got it.
Taking away the ladder.
Yeah. Now that we've got. Oh, I'm thirsty. My lord. How did that happen?
Happens so quick nowadays. It's crazy.
That's because we're doing a lot of running around and work.
And working.
The game does actually care about such things. Right. I'm going to improve this tile.
I'm going to take a 2-second bio break just before Horde Night starts.
Yep, that makes sense. Now, the zombies will break the blocks. They'll get frustrated. They'll attack things. Especially as they're falling, they'll take a swipe as they're falling. So it really does pay to reinforce these blocks. But it does eat your cobble up. Most unfortunately. But it's a necessary evil, I'm afraid. There we go. It's also worth improving these blocks if you have the cobble to spare. Because again, some of them will get just frustrated and will attack these blocks when they stop to jump over them. There we are. That should do it for a very basic defense. It's not much, but it's all we've got. If we can get more rocks and more dirt, then we should be okay. But as you can see, we can easily navigate around the corner. The zombies should hopefully not. However, now comes the prep work to make this into a base that we can actually fortify. What I would suggest is, well, if you use the buddy system, one person crouching, one person standing, you can, one person can shoot over the other person can be lower down shooting as well. Yeah. It should go okay. But generally speaking, I am going to pop down some extra wood here. If we can get some extra wood from trees, Shelab, and make more frames.
Yeah, I'd be happy to go and chop some down for the last few minutes before.
It shouldn't. We should have enough time. I'm fairly certain.
Yeah, you've got plenty. Yeah, it's plenty of time. It's only 5 o'clock.
We just want enough room here so that A, we don't fall down that hole there. B, we are isolated from vulture attack. That's a fairly big one.
Yeah.
The vultures are going to be a massive pain. This does not need to be a particularly well designed little area here. You just need it to offer some defense against attack. Now,
oh my God, it's that way again.
One of the chief things to be aware of here is that you don't want to put doors on this. The moment you put a door in a place, a zombie sees that as an obstacle and has to, its pathing will calculate based on having to break that down. You don't want it to see anything that it has to break because that makes it less attractive as a route to take. And the whole kind of crux of this design here is that it wants to attack up here instead of trying to burrow through the walls. If I make anything less attractive than that, then that is a problem. We don't need this to be a particularly tall structure. In fact, it will help if it's not, because it means I'll have to use less wood to seal it in.
Here is a tree's worth of wood for you.
Excellent. By all means, start upgrading these into actual full frames.
Oh, okay.
At least the walls. At least the walls, not the rest.
Only give you half of the wood then.
Damn it! I fell.
There you go.
I need my torch back. I will need to take the torch down from in the basement, otherwise I'm not going to see anything that's approaching. It will be quite annoying. Now the zombies are going to try to come around these edges here. Oh, sorry, I picked the one side you were already on. That is, you know, acceptable for the most part. Doesn't really hurt us. Grab this torch and straight back up. We are going to need... actually, generally speaking, we're fairly good, I think. If we put down 2 torches down here, we aren't going to have the other torches to keep us lit, which does suck.
Yeah.
But do I have any more cobble? Can I make more cobble? No. But what I can do is I can reinforce the inside. I want to make some wooden bars as well. Can I make those? Wood bars. Wood bars center. There we go. Yes, we can. Perfect. This won't offer much protection at all, but it is better than nothing. So popping these down like that gives us a little area. We can shoot through that, but Oh, I'd need forged iron and I'd be able to reinforce those. That's actually not too bad. What we're going to try and do is... I've got 20 blocks of flagstone down here. I can go through and double reinforce the walls effectively.
Nice.
Shelab, do you think there's any chance that you would be able to harvest some more dirt?
Dirt? Oh.
There we go. That's the warning.
Thunder. Yeah, I can harvest some more dirt from the basement.
Oh, that's a good point, actually, yeah. Okay, do we want to bring over any medical supplies? Do we have any medical supplies?
There's a big horde on its way to our horde base.
Really?
Yeah. This happens often, doesn't it? You get like a...
Well, that isn't too bad, actually. Just plink them. They're going to try to use the horde base, so...
Yeah.
Now, it's actually ideal if they do try to get up here. If you can get a horde that isn't part of the Blood Moon horde, you can end up reducing the amount of work you need to do a lot. Shelab, it's probably best you don't stand there and actually just come through here and use the horde base properly.
Yeah, use the thing properly.
And this gives people a demonstration as well, because they'll be able to see.
Are you crouched?
Yep. The headshots are so easy to set up. Are you going to fall? Yes, you are. Perfect. Alright. And while they're wandering down there, back to the stairs, which they will, I'm going to head on out, because I do need to try and get some stuff done. One. And hopefully get rid of you as well. How many arrows do you have?
About 100.
Oof. Okay, and how many pistol shots?
Now. 53.
Okay, that's not so bad actually. I'm tempted to bring one of the torches in just so that we're warm. It's not the best.
Cover all the arrows.
Yeah, I know. We can take them out from out here at this point. I'm going to take one of the torches back with me.
Well,
they'll fall down on you. Watch out.
Are you still alive?
I just hadn't been killed yet. Okay.
Give me like my arrows.
What was I doing? I was going to gather... Oh, is there anything else we want to gather from the main base? We're almost out of time. Might want to have a quick look. There are hunting rifles there and shotguns, and you may as well grab everything that you can use to save yourself.
Yeah, anything that's ammo.
Yeah. Make sure you've got bandages. Make sure you've got pain pills. Anything you can. There's 8 more jacket potatoes, I believe, in the fireplace.
Oh, great. No, that's 4.
That should be enough. Oh, there's only 4, is there? Okay.
Do you want 2 of them?
Yeah, sure. Actually, no. You take them. You take them. I don't need them.
Thank you.
Shotguns. That's fine. Hunting rifle is what I want. There we go. There's another hunter rifle there, so I'm going to just take half of the ammo.
Okay.
Some steel arrows. I'm just going to grab all of those, if that's all right. There's shotguns, shotgun shells. You can grab those.
Yeah.
I don't think there was anything else I wanted. Go and grab the spike traps.
Rifle. Ammo.
Now, it is important to try and protect the structure. Even though this may result in us losing some EXP, it's more important that we don't die.
Yeah.
So, I will be using the spike traps. Only around the base. I don't care if they attack the approach. Well, I do a little bit, but mostly it's the base that I wanna.
As long as we can make sure that they don't do, too much damage, we can repair it afterwards a little.
Yeah. Now, is more likely that they're going to attack this side of the wall because they will be enraged after the fall. So
yeah,
that will help
sense.
out. There we go. Damn it. Oh, I thought I dropped there. But no, we're good. Right. Did you have more wood?
A tiny bit more, yeah.
Right, okay.
Not much.
Improve as much as you can. I'll go out then and start repairing the outside walls. As soon as I have a wall on this side, I'll put a torch down so we've got a little bit of light in here. Right, this torch... Oh, where is it? I'm sure I picked up a torch. Ah, there we are. That torch should be really dumb. It's like on a wooden wall, but... actually, let's probably move that down a bit. It isn't going to look... No, it won't. It won't go there anyway. I'll just have to put it there. That's fine. But that'll be enough, I think, to keep us warm.
I have to put it centrally.
I do.
It will not work otherwise.
I do. It is required. If I put it anywhere else, it would not work. In fact, we would be cursed. Actually, yeah, that's fine. The roof is a potential issue.
Yeah, only
vultures.
Really if they send a lot of vultures and things like that. But it's a first horde night, so I would hope there won't be like hundreds of vultures.
Yeah. Did you grab the hunting rifle, by the way? Cool.
Just getting things onto my hot bar now.
Yeah.
Take things like shovels off and put things like reinforced clubs and things like that on. Get that.
I'll try and make that jump. No, that was terrible. And I landed on the spikes. Of course I landed on the spikes. Oh well. That was a test.
At least you were the first.
It was a test. Clearly,
yes.
it was purely to see if they worked. That is all. Actually, if I put a torch right there, that's going to help out by casting light towards the zombies, and especially the ones down bottom. But it is still going to be awkward without dedicated light source. But the main thing is that this door exists. Do you want to step off that hatch, though, Shelab?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks. I'm going to go down. I'm going to add in what remains of the cobble that I have. If you've got an axe, by all means, come on down and help out.
So what are we up to at the moment? Just taking out this wall?
Just the middle.
Just the middle?
In order to replace it
to reinforce.
with...
Right, okay. I get you.
And we'll also get rid of the ladder as well. But that'll be the last thing we do.
Yeah, obviously.
So low on stamina. It's painful. Use. Have you got bandages on you?
Yeah, 7 of them. Do you want some?
No. I've got plenty. I was just making sure that you had some.
Yeah, because you gave me
Take the one out in the corner
earlier.
as well.
No, my axe needs repairs, and I used all my stone to make arrows. Sorry.
That's okay. I can give you mine if you want. There it is. It's on the floor. Well, actually, no. It's on the. What's wrong?
I'm on fire.
Oh, it's okay. It only lasts for a little bit.
Oh, phew.
It's okay. But there it is. It's just in the corner there. But now you see why that's so useful against the zombies. Because they have the same reaction.
Yes. Yes, I'm like, ah.
Did you get out of that wall section?
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm going to have to light the fire again, though.
It's fine.
There we are. It's a little bit of light. Anything we can do at this point is just going to make this place that much less likely to be swarmed.
Be eaten. Yeah. Hopefully it should just go nice and smoothly.
I'm actually regretting that I filled in the wall at the back of the area up top. Could you go up there and just dig a single doorway so that we can access the rear of the ceiling?
Hang on, what do you mean? Sorry?
You know, up on top of the tower?
Oh, just dig down.
No, not down. just go up on top of the tower. And where there's a wooden wall behind you, just dig out one little door. Just so that we can actually access the outside as well.
I see, because that's an escape route.
Yeah, exactly. Also, if there are zombies out there attacking the walls, it's probably going to be the only way that we're going to get to them.
Do you want me to put an actual door in there as well?
Yeah, you could put a door there. Since that's not an access route for them, it doesn't matter if it's P is less convenient. I almost had enough to finish this off, but not quite enough. That's fine.
You're going to be like, we have to have 2 doors, it's not symmetrical.
I'm not going to lie, that is going through my mind, but I'm resisting as hard as I can. Are you proud of me? I'm proud of me.
I guess.
Let's drink a little bit. And that's it for my flagstone blocks. Have I got enough dirt? I've got no dirt left. Okay, alright, I'm going to take away the ladder down here.
Alright, and then close the hatch when you come up so that I don't fall in.
Roger, roger.
Because you know that will be the next thing to happen, right?
Yep, that's it.
My food's at 45 right now. That's not too bad.
Right, there we go. It is go time. Alright, need my hunting rifle there. My axe can go back inside. Don't really need it. Load my...
You're going to crouch in the front.
Yeah, I will do. Give me just a second. Need to make sure I've got plenty of stone arrows being made. Right, are they coming? Yeah, they're making a run for it. Right. It is kind of hard to see, and I do apologize everyone on YouTube who can't see easily because of this, but... Have you got good sight lines there, Shelab?
Yeah, I just had to wiggle very slightly to get a better sight line.
Right. Okay, this is the first horde. It'll be the easiest of all of them. It'll have the fewest special infected. But it's still potentially dangerous. There's a lot of zombies there, and they're all runners. They can't be lost. They always know where we are. When the zombie soldiers came through in the night, I lost the one just by running faster than it could run. You'll still outpace a blood moon zombie running, but the thing is, they will never run out of stamina, whereas you will. I'll eventually run out of my steel arrows, but as you can see, having a system like this where they are always going to line up their heads in more or less the same place.
You should get the odd head explode,
yep.
Which is quite nice.
It just removes the guesswork for the... Oh, there we are. We've got some loot. Damn.
Nice.
Right, that's all the steel arrows gone. So now onto the regular stone arrows. Do you want me to move to the side slightly, Sheila?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Okay, I can hear some of them attacking the steel down below. So they got annoyed enough that they wanted to try and burrow through the wall. And when they tried, they hit the trap. Or they might have just clipped the trap as they were trying to walk past. Either way, it's fine. The zombies don't really take fall damage, not in the same way that the players do, but you can make this trap entrance tall enough that when they fall down into the pit, they've got a long way down. Additionally, you can make it so that there are other traps just straight up down there, like, you know, the entire center of the pit is just fire traps. That is campfires. Or the later spinning blade traps, things like that. Again, it all comes down to what you're using Horde Night for.
Yeah, I like to use Horde Night for EXP farming a lot. It's really handy.
I enjoy making automated traps just to see if I can make them using the, you know, the pistons and
that's quite fun to do like
stuff.
A bit later on once you've got loads of EXP and stuff.
But quite often, Lady Shelab will request that I make the traps manual in the sense that we have to be the ones killing the enemy. Okay.
But it would be nice to get to kind of late game for once and actually play with electric traps and things.
Okay. That sounds like a vulture.
I see it.
Okay. Do you want to take care of it? Or can you?
Got it.
Well done. Vultures on Horde Night are... They're just straight up pistol fodder for me. I don't even try with a bow. So like, nope. No, not dealing with you.
It was basically static right above the base, so...
Ah, right.
So it was very easy to deal with.
As you can see, some of them are deciding that they're too frustrated with the situation, so they're not even trying anymore, they're just attacking. That's why you need to double reinforce the cobblestone. The one regular flagstone block that I placed down, sorry, the two that I placed down in error, that I needed to then break down, that had 500 durability. I think reinforced cobblestone has something like 1,000. Might even have 1,500. So it's a large upgrade to how hard it is to break. And you do kind of need these. But level 15 is wonderful. I believe a doggo is getting itself down there. Level 16.
It's been hanging around for a while, that dog.
See if I can put it out of its misery. I can. Right, I am now out of arrows, so I'm switching across to my pistol. Or my hunting rifle, I suppose I could switch across to that too. I'll just use my regular armor.
Very good for...
Right. Thank you. Rather not waste these shots on anything but a headshot if I can avoid it. Nailed it. There you go. I love the loading animation whilst you're looking down the iron sights.
2 dogs now.
It shouldn't be too much of a problem for us. Let's wait that out. There we go. Looks like it's full moon now. Midnight exactly.
That might be me onto my pistol now.
It would be awful if we ended up having to use all of our ammo on this, but... And there's worse places to use all your ammo than the Blood Moon. Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Their corpses are now clogging up the crenellations.
Ah.
I'll wait for you to move. That one there is probably dead. The on my screen there's a zombie in a hoodie that seems to just be stood there in amongst the crenellations. I think it's already dead, it's just the game hasn't realized.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, that was a horrible shot. Oh, waste of ammo. There's no point taking a shot unless you know it's going to hit something. I say to myself. Oh, wow. Both shot and its head exploded. I'm just going to wait until I've got a clear headshot. Don't want to accidentally waste a bullet in something's shoulder.
I think we're doing okay.
Yep, we seem to be doing okay. I'm up to level 17 now.
I don't even know what level I am.
I only know because it just announced. Okay.
They're quieting down a bit now.
Yeah, we may
I'm 16 now.
We may have removed the majority of them at this point.
There's one come running back up there now.
Is there? Oh yeah, I see.
Yep, there it comes.
There we go.
We didn't do too badly with the ammo, I don't think. I've still got 12 rounds of 7.62 and 14 of the steel stuff.
Right. Now, the way the Blood Moons work is they never end. They never fully end.
Yeah, there'll be a runner somewhere.
Yeah.
Once single.
The Blood Moon, based on the difficulty of the game that you've set, will spawn enemies, a certain amount of enemies per person in a number of waves. And yeah, that one zombie there is clearly like an artifact. Damn it.
Yeah.
There we go. And it had a shotgun in it. Oh.
Nice.
But they will continue to spawn zombies in waves until the end of the blood moon, or rather,
well, you get
kind of like tower defense, really.
Yeah, don't you get a certain amount of waves and then you get a trickle or something like that?
Yeah, it's got 3 main waves, and it will send zombies at you up to the amount that it requires that wave, and then it'll wait for a certain amount of time to have passed, a certain number of minutes, for example.
That's why I'm looking to see if I can see anything running.
It has reached the end of the time that you had to clear that wave, or you've killed everything that was in the wave, it will spawn the next group. So if you take a long time to kill the zombies, like you've got some sort of capture trap rather than a kill trap, then it may well spawn more and more and more. Oh wow, look at the damage it did to these walls. It will spawn more and more and more and more. Eventually it'll get crazy numbers.
Is it really bad, the damage?
Some of the cobble is messed up, but the actual base held really well.
That's not too bad
the
then.
Base held fantastically
just
well.
Be a little bit of cobble to redo it. And
yep. I think
boom, it's ready for next time.
As far as defenses, that worked as well as it could have worked.
That did amazingly. Yeah.
But yeah, as I was saying, it'll send the next wave once the timer is elapsed, or you've killed everything. Once it's sent all of the waves, it will start a trickle where it'll be 1 or 2 zombies.
Although I haven't seen any. I don't know if
it might be a crawler, or it could be stuck behind a wall. Could be stuck behind one of the large rocks. Crawlers are usually the ones that cause this kind of wave.
Yes, stuck behind a massive rock somewhere and spends all evening trying to dig through it.
Yeah, exactly. They're not the smartest, but that worked reasonably well. And that was only the first horde night though. They will get a lot harder. They ramp up in difficulty super fast.
We'll need to upgrade the base. Yeah. We could maybe do things like make the walkway longer, split them into 2 and have one of us on each side. Yeah,
exactly. Or have multiple towers, because a certain amount of the zombies are hunting Shelab, a certain amount of the zombies were hunting me. If you split up and go into different areas, it will make it a lot easier in some ways. The way the game works is there's a game stage. So because I've died once, my game stage is a little bit lower than Shelab's, but they're roughly equivalent.
We're quite low level, so yeah.
The game will,
I'm a lower level than you.
When it comes to a horde, or when it's generating like a wandering spawn party or something like that, it will look at your game stage and up to 5 other people who are very close to you. What it will do then, out of the 6 people, it'll take the 5 highest game stages, add them all together, and then ignore the lowest one. And that is now that's like the point pool that it uses to decide how big of a wandering horde to spawn, or how big of a horde night spawn to give you. It's based on your level of development. Now, game stage is largely how long you've lived with, how long you've been in the game without dying. There are other things that go into it, like your level and stuff like that, but for the most part, a very good rule of thumb. Does your kill
count matter as well?
A little bit, but not much. For example, my enemy kills is 172. Yours is 91. So if it does affect it, but it doesn't have a very large effect. Though having a death has an enormous effect on it. That drops your game stage quite actively. So if you find yourself in a death spiral, you'll eventually be out of the death spiral, because you'll simply have died so many times that the game is like, I'll just send the weakest zombies at you.
Give you easy stuff, yeah. No more lumberjacks.
How are you doing for food, by the way?
Terribly.
Okay, let's head back in here and I'll drop some potatoes down for you.
That's amazing, thank you.
In fact, I'll drop some more as well. There you go.
Oh, thank you.
So that's some of the last of it. I think come the morrow...
We'll have to scavenge for food as soon as.
Yeah, come the morrow, the first thing I'm going to do on the day after a blood moon... By the way, the day after a blood moon typically has no wander spawns. And at night, it'll be a lot gentler to you. Just to give you time to recover. But I think what I'll probably end up doing is getting the farm up and running.
Yeah, and I'll go scavenge and see if I can find any food anywhere.
it does look like whatever is spawned, it is stuck somewhere. And it could honestly be anywhere in here. We might want to have a poke around in a little bit to try and see, but I think we've done a fairly good job there. I really do.
We've done an amazing job with this. It's really, really good.
We did go through an awful lot of ammo, though. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I barely touched my pistol, though, which is not so
I was
bad.
going to say, it didn't need any pistol ammo, so we've got 100 pistol ammo between us. So it's just a little bit of the 7.62, but we don't use the hunting rifles a ton.
No, that's
true. Night generally.
Yeah. No, I'm quite pleased in general with how that went. I think our defense here worked exactly as it needed to. We managed to funnel all of the zombies into an easy killing line. Not so much a killing floor, because we didn't really get them down in the pit, but being able to line up their heads for the headshots gave us an advantage. But the biggest part was stripping them of their advantage, which was their massive speed. So using the kind of the little humps here, even if you didn't have this kind of tricky pit here to cause them to fall down onto the ground, just having the crenellations, if it was long enough, then you could probably just kill the zombies like that. Just let them run straight towards the door to you. But yeah, I think that went about as well as it could have.
I think so. Definitely. Did really well.
I'll continue. I think as we develop this base, this will become our main base. And the plan is to fortify the walls, get them double thick cobblestone all the way around. And build up this top section. It doesn't really matter whether it's wood or cobblestone, but I think I would prefer cobblestone if we could have it. Maybe even have it overhang a little bit so that if we need to, we can kill.
Put a second runway on this.
It might be wise. It might be wise because all of the zombies will approach from the same direction, but with the way that we've built this, they will come to us on the side that we want. So there's a lot you can do with it. We could, if this was just a horde base, then you could make this tower super narrow and just completely make it solid at the bottom. So it's a complete solid foundation. So they would spend an age digging through. But since we want to make this our main base as well, there's other considerations. We need it to be a certain size to allow for that.
Yeah, so we can just upgrade it as much as possible, make the walls as thick as possible.
Yep, that seems to be the way to do it. Yep.
And,
no, I'm really, really pleased with that. The repairs are going to take a bit of time, and definitely fortifying it further is going to take a bit of time.
Yeah,
I'm thinking that we might even want to make this a bit of a compound. So maybe at the back here, make the farms. Perhaps even have a second tower of a similar size, or maybe just a bit narrower because it would just purely be a defensive tower. To mark the perimeter of the compound, the furthest wall, and have another setup like you said. Instead of having two towers of this massive size, have a perimeter tower over on that side. Maybe have some sort of portcullis to allow vehicles in, because eventually we're going to want vehicles, and then during the night we're going to want them safe. Yeah, I think that went pretty well. And
it's a good start on the base as well, and the basement will be becoming the more functional part of the base as well. Yeah,
with that, I'm gonna have to have a peek to see if there was a zombie over here, because this would be my guess. No, it doesn't look like it. Huh. Okay, I have no idea where the other zombie was then, but it looks like we managed to outsmart the zombies. Thankfully,
we did.
Because if we hadn't, that would have been embarrassing. But yeah. That's going to be it for us, though. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Do let us know down in the comments what you think of our horde base and just the general kind of plan around building the bases like this. And we will see you in the next recording session. So until then, as always, take care, everyone.